I'm Rabbi Dr. Dovid Fox of Chai Lifeline's Crisis Intervention, Trauma, and Bereavement Support Services. I'm addressing the entire Chai Lifeline family, the children, their parents, siblings, all of the loving, caring staff, all of us at Chai Lifeline. We've just begun the new year of Tufshin Pei Aleph, and I want to offer you some antidotes, some remedies to all of the stress that we have endured and absorbed over the last half year. We're glad it's over, and we're looking forward, Be'ezras Hashem, to a year Haba Aleinu Latova. I'm going to give you 5 points in 5 minutes on coping. Point 1, these all begin with the letter C, just like COVID begins with the letter C, but these are antidotes. Point 1, connecting. Families, friends, classmates, neighbors, we've all been disconnected for a half a year, and this is a time to reestablish connecting. We want to build a sense of cohesiveness. We want to be able to talk again and interact again with the people who we care about and build up that connectedness, that cohesiveness, treating each other with respect and feeling once again like we are Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael. Point number 2, communicating. After so long of isolation and distancing, of loneliness and solitude, this is a time when finally, Baruch Hashem, we're able to communicate. Let's be careful about what we say, and let's watch how we say it. Speaking once again with respect, with gentleness, with tenderness. So much of the status of Klal Yisrael is determined by the way in which we communicate and speak with each other and about each other. Let's work on communicating. Point number 3, composure. It's so important that we scan ourselves and be self-aware, conscientious of what's going on inside of us. This has been an ordeal. It's not been easy. Each of us have absorbed the stresses from our environment. We've dealt with loss. We've dealt with sickness. We've dealt with loneliness and sadness. We've dealt with worry and frustration and anger. And it's important to be self-aware. Scan yourself. Where are you holding that tension today? Is it in your thoughts? Is it in your heart, your emotions? Does it seep out in the way that you behave with other people? But regaining your sense of composure, knowing honestly what's going on inside of you, gives you a sense of being able to control and compose yourself. Point number 4, catharsis. We all need to turn to someone. This loneliness, this isolation, this quarantine has not been good for us. Now that we are working on connecting, now that we are working on communicating, now that we're redeveloping our own integrity and sense of composure, we still need some catharsis. We need the ability to find someone who we trust, who cares about us. It may be a parent, it may be an older sibling, maybe your closest friend or a Rebbe, maybe some wise person that you know who you can turn to. People who won't judge you, people who won't be critical of you, but will encourage you to speak up and to ventilate and put out into the open the things that you still worry about, the things that you're unsure about, knowing that they'll validate you, knowing that they'll give you encouragement and permission just to feel right now and think right now, whatever you're going through, so that you can work on a higher level of composure. But that catharsis, that ability to speak up and to get it out into the open in a discreet way with someone who cares and with whom you trust. We all need that opportunity. And the 5th point has to do with caring and with compassion and with community. This is a time to rebuild. This is a time that we finally can turn to the people in our environment, our Jewish brothers and sisters, our neighbors, the classmates we haven't seen for so long, our colleagues, even those who are going back to shul, the people we daven next to and we daven with. And we want to rebuild community. And we want to do it with the caring and the compassion. We want to show people respect. You want to be malamet zchus. You want to have a benevolent outlook towards everyone in our world. When we have shalom in our bias as Beis Yisrael, when we have shalom in our bias down here, that radiates into Shemayim. And Kodesh Baruch Hu Kaviyachal Oseh Shalom B'mromav, when he is busy making peace in Shemayim, that's going to emanate down to earth, reciprocal to the amount of shalom we build among ourselves. And that's the Oseh Shalom B'mromav Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. I'll call Israel. And let's work at that. The connecting, the communicating, the personal composure, the sense of community, the sense of caring and compassion, the ability to turn and to unload and to restructure what we feel. And my bracha from the depth of my heart and from my neshama, and speaking on behalf of my colleagues in Project Chai and Chai Lifeline, is that this be a sweet year, this be a good year. Tafshin Pei Aleph Haba Aleinu Latova. May we feel the healing. May we feel the happiness once again. And let's work on reconnecting as a nation. A good gebencht Jahr.